So what we have is a 42 unit condominium for sale building, converted it from an office use. Let's go up to the top floor and check stuff out.
All right.
A nickel and dime tour. One of the things that we did, which Ralph Vartan actually already did this within the property, but we brought the elevator to the roof deck. So that we went through great expense and trouble to do that. So we're unique in the sense that we're in front of the Capitol building.
Yeah.
And we have views of the river, the Capitol, downtown, uptown, midtown. But one of the things we thought was really, we really had to do important, both for ADA and for convenience, is to bring the elevator to the rooftop.
Yeah. Doesn't get any better than that.
Not much.
So 42 units.
42 units.
How'd you make that happen?
Well, what it is we had 7 floors of residential to build on. So what we did is we were able to design 6 units per floor.
Right.
And we stacked them. So for efficiency of construction and layout and design, we basically have 6 individual floor plans, but they're stacked throughout.
Right.
So they'll vary a little bit because some floors have larger windows, shorter windows, wider windows. So there's columns in some. So we had again, it's existing building, so we had to work around what we had. So this is the kind of the corner, the highest price point unit. This one was $225 and it was one of the first to sell. This is a high end of the spectrum, so $225. This is what it buys you. The lower end is $89.9. There's a low cost unit, and those are on the second floor, third floor. Not as much of a view as what you see here.
So the higher you go, the more expensive it is. But that's right. But as little as $89.9.
That's right. That's right. So the average home sale price here is about $155.
Okay.
That's the average cost, which today's mortgage rates, you're looking at a mortgage payment much less than rent.
Yeah, it's incredible.
So it's a good investment. It's a good way to own a home in the city. Wow. So all the units, what we did is we have this open kind of kitchen, living room area.
Yeah.
And then we have a bedroom. They're all one bedrooms. And the reason that Dan decided to go with the one bedroom model is because those were the first things to sell out at Riverview Manor over on Front Street.
Right.
And
you have that
so
experience.
that just shows us that that's what the demand is. Now, if you were inclined to do so, you could buy 2 units and combine them. So this is one of our more economical, I'll say, units. But again, because it's stacked all the way down.
They all have washer and dryer?
They do. One of the nice things that we did do here, this is what's called a combo. It's an LG.
Oh, interesting.
They're very popular in Europe.
Yeah.
It washes and dries.
That's neat.
So it's very high efficient. There's no venting.
That's really neat.
We also have the water heater and the air handler
all
in one spot with a pan. So if there's ever a leak, it's self-contained. There's a drain in the floor, and we won't have any issues with damaging the unit below.
Wow.
I wanted to show you this unit because this unit it's kind of the back of the house. It doesn't have the floor-to-ceiling windows, but what it does have is three views. You have the river, the Capitol.
I don't know. I think I like this better than the front. Well, I mean, you get it all.
You get it all.
A little bit of
and one thing we did too, we didn't put the
Yeah.
bar top. If you notice, we kept it down, so it just kind of kept that open feel
Nice.
for the whole unit. Just kind of made it really open. And we did furnish this again. It's we staged it so people could get an idea, a feel for.
Well, you did a really nice job. You can get a feel for the whole.
We did put California Closets. One of our partners put their stuff in. So if you so chose, you could always use California Closets. Good view of the river. Good view of State Street. Great view of the convenient, accessible local parking.
Yes.
Dan was joking. He said, wonder what the city, if they would let us build a bridge right over the park. What would we need to do to make that happen?
I'm sure you could. It just might be a little bit of an engineering.
A little bit of engineering. Maybe purchase some air rights and some other things like that. But
wow.
Yeah, we needed to step it up a little bit.
Yeah.
It's a different product than Riverview. Of course, there you've got the river. It's walkable. You got a full paved parking lot. This is a little more urban. It's more downtown. It's kind of a different feel from that project. Your views are a little bit different.
How do the price points compare to the furlough?
Well, the furlough is a full rent property.
All for rent.
All
so
for rent.
Nothing was was condomized there.
Right. No, that was all for rent. And those
so how does it compare to Riverview then?
Riverview is actually almost by the per square foot almost identical. So you're actually getting that value here is what you did there. And the reason why, because we were able to keep our construction costs low.
Wow.
We were able to reuse an existing building, which is always better as urban developers. I mean, how more green can you get than to reuse an existing building?
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
I want to thank you all for coming. It's an intimate group. Thanks again for joining us for our ribbon cutting today. I can see the look in some of your eyes, wondering what I've been doing since Riverview. A little closer so you can hear me in the back. So, anyway, what I've been doing since Riverview is pretty obvious back here. I haven't been golfing. Some of you thought maybe that's what I was doing. No golf game. So, what most of you don't know is we've done 8 projects now in the city over the last 5 or 6 years, and the total investment is nearing $40 million redevelopment of the city. We have renovated and converted over 370 units, both for sale and for rent in downtown. And we feel we're bringing residents back in the city, which has all of our goals, I believe. Some revitalization. Before I get into the details of what we did here in the project, I'd like to introduce Dave Black. Introduce I'd be happy to.
It's really a great day here in the city of Harrisburg. I do just want to compliment Dan and his team at Brickbox. This kind of investment in the city. You know, there's a lot of things that result in the city coming back, but nothing says it more than private sector investment in the city and people like Dan that are reinvesting in the city and making Harrisburg like a lot of cities. There is a real interest in livable cities and walkable cities again, and I think this is just the beginning of what we're going to see. But hats off to you, Dan, for your incredible investment in the city. On behalf of the regional business community from the Harrisburg Regional Chamber and Creedy, we thank you for your investment, and we look forward to more projects of this nature. It's my pleasure. We've got 2 distinguished elected officials here with us. Commissioner Hartwick, who you'll hear from in a minute, but it's my pleasure to introduce the mayor of Harrisburg, who has been a very, very busy guy. You see him all over the city, and some good things are happening as a result of teamwork that's going on in the city. And we heard him talk about it last week at the State of the City and all the collaboration, and I think this is another example. Obviously, you have to do certain things to get through, and I think hopefully the cooperation was very good with the city. So without further ado, please welcome Mayor Eric Pappas.
This is truly a breathtaking project. I had the great joy of getting a chance to go up to the roof and look at some of the condominiums. They're incredible. No expense was spared. This is really the ultimate in luxurious city living. We're very excited. 42 new homeowners right here in this one building alone. That's amazing. That's exactly the trend that we want to see for the city as we move forward. Also, look around you. We're starting to fill in the gaps. Not only did we take a building here and turn it into something wonderful, but we've got the new Cork and Fork on the corner. It wasn't so long ago that we put in the Buchanan Ingersoll building. I mean, this block is really starting to fill out, and I think we're going to see that development take place all throughout Harrisburg as we move forward. LUX, and I assume it's a play on luxury, also happens to be the Latin word for light. I used to teach 7th and 8th grade Latin. And LUX is I think, a very appropriate name, because I think we are beginning to see the light. I think we've had a bit of a stormy period here in Harrisburg's history, but we're coming out of it, and it's projects like these that literally shine the light forward for others. I have a little bit of history in this proclamation. I think you should all know it if you haven't already. I'd like to read it for you today. whereas the building here at 231 State Street was constructed in September 1909 as the brand new Masonic Temple. And whereas in the early 1950s, the Masons sold the building and it was converted at that time into an office building. And whereas 231 State Street is the proud new location for LUX, a planned community development. And whereas LUX is a mixed-use project that will provide luxury housing and a future retail restaurant use that will benefit homeowners, city workers, and city dwellers. And whereas Brickbox Property Development is painstakingly worked to replace and upgrade the electric, the plumbing, the HVAC. You can see all those amazing, beautiful heat pump units on the roof now, the windows, the elevators, while maintaining the historic Masonic temple walls and field. And whereas LUX residents and patrons benefit from beautiful views of the state capitol, of downtown, of the river, and even of Midtown from here. And whereas many partners came together to realize this project, including, of course, Dan and Derek, By Design Architects, Integrated Engineering Solutions, and wider construction services. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that I, Eric Hoffenfuss, Mayor of the City of Harrisburg, do hereby recognize and proclaim this day in honor of LUX Luxury Community Condominium. Congratulations. And when we're finished, you'll get the chance to see the finished product, and it's really amazing. Commissioner.
Great. Good afternoon, everyone.
Moving to the center.
Yep.
This is truly a great day, as we said, in the city of Harrisburg, and another demonstration of how private development, the ability to make an investment, despite some of the challenging times, and we recently through some real estate classes, I understand usually with the bigger risk, there's a chance for a larger profit. That's not necessarily the case for Dan Deichman. He does things that are quiet. He doesn't ask for government help. We figure out ways to work together to alleviate some of those barriers in order to achieve what you see behind you. But ultimately, it's his business savvy, high quality investment, attention to details, and willingness to believe and show an investment not by what he says, but by the money he's invested in the belief that Harrisburg is on its way back again. It's these types of investments that, quite frankly, are the backbone of what we believe will be a renaissance period in the city of Harrisburg again. It's great to not be talking bankruptcy, but investment. It's great to be talking about partnerships rather than fighting and petty partisanship, because that is not what people want out of local government. It's not what we need to do to support individuals who from the private sector take it upon themselves to make that level of investment with significant risk. And I'll tell you, these are pretty hot places upstairs. I mean, the idea of being able to keep a view on those politicians, I asked to mount a little camera at one of the rooms, so not only will Roxbury have the view, but maybe we will from the LUX apartments as well. But this is truly a high-class investment. It's one that I think is already about halfway leased, so there is space available for all of you that are coming here. Hopefully this is a showing, and we may be able to sign individuals up as well today. It marks a truly historic day in the resurgence of the city of Harrisburg. You've heard the history. Spent a lot of time in this one. It was the Bardo building and the AFL-CIO building. What you see inside versus those hallways and the limited amount of space, it's all open. The light that comes into this place is truly LUX. And today, in honor of this investment and what it represents for the future of the city of Harrisburg and Dauphin County, we also want to join with the 268,000 residents in celebrating the grand opening of LUX. And in honor of this new investment in our community and the celebration of its ribbon cutting, we do hereby proudly proclaim October 14, 2014 as the LUX grand opening day. Thank you for your investment.
So I guess we're ready for the...
It's hard to follow the great work, but a couple of quick things to mention. For those who couldn't hear in the back or newly arrived, just a little bit of history, a little bit, if you don't mind. And then the LUX, the Sit LUX, which actually is engraved, you see at the cornerstone that was laid there in September of 1909. That's actually where we got the LUX name, in addition to the obvious. And so As was mentioned, the AFL-CIO was the most recent owner, and that's who we purchased the building from. It had been vacant for 5 or 6 years, and we felt that this was a ripe redevelopment opportunity. It's been hard to find a location as a condominium project to follow Riverview Manor, which was, again, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to own in the city, to move and to live and own a historic building. Here again, this is a 1909 property that's been totally restored. Everything is new, the roof, windows, HVAC, plumbing throughout. And this is again a chance to own history and something new and modern all in one. I'm going to try to, since it looks like rain might be coming, I'm going to try to cut to the chase a little bit here.
You're fine, take your time.
You'll also notice that these windows, when we replaced them, we tried to resemble the original windows, except for the stained glass piece. The openings were very large here because this building was a 5-story building, which was converted to 8 stories over the years. But we opened the windows up, and some of them are traversing 2 floors, and therefore some floors have floor-to-ceiling glass. You'll notice when you do your tour. I guess I'll just do a couple quick things. I'd like to thank a number of people. I see a lot of familiar faces in the crowd. So first I need to thank my parents and my wife and daughter. And of course, a lot of the contractors who participated here, I thought I'd at least mention a few of the names because they did play an integral part of the project. We had mechanical engineering was Jeff Ballard and Associates. Structural engineer was Ken Robinson. The elevator work was ThyssenKrupp, and the exterior facade cleaning and pointing and grouting and caulking was a company called Best Wash, which we also did Riverview with. They do great work for us. The flooring was Floormax and Arco Flooring. Carpentry was a combination of Pro Finish, POM, Praxis, and the roofing, of course, Allied Roofing, who we worked with for 10 to 15 years. Cabinets and vanities were Home Renew, and the granite countertops you see upstairs, KOL marble and granite. Sprinkler system was Judd Fire Protection. HVAC was done by AC Rimmer. Drywall and framing with J&J and Sons. Two Sons Mechanical did electrical and plumbing work. Of course, the lobby design was Neil and Allison Chaquette. I feel compelled to mention all their names because they, again, worked with us for this whole time and devoted their time, efforts, and commitment, not just dollars, to make sure this was a success for all.
Okay, is everybody good? All right, we're going to count to 3. 1,
2,
2, 3. Yay!